Perfect. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the second part of today's session. Right now, we will be having really nice presentations prepared by the International Relations Office. And without making you wait any longer, let me introduce you to David, who will be making a presentation about being a foreigner in Turkey. So take it away, David.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody, and welcome. I'm really not used to using a microphone, so excuse me if I'm too close or too far away. I always feel like I should sing a song, but I will not, I promise. My name is David Hill. I have been living in Turkey for 25 years in total, 17 years here in Sabancı, so I guess it's clear that either I'm very happy here or I lack imagination. I think I'm very happy here. I like it. So the friends at the International Office very kindly asked me to give a welcoming speech to you based on my experiences as a foreigner in Turkey. Now, having lived here for that long, I don't feel entirely foreign anymore, and I wondered if I was actually the appropriate person to do this. And I also didn't want to just give my own subjective impressions. So I asked a bunch of foreign friends and acquaintances to mail me with a list of their top tips, top pieces of advice for foreigners arriving in Turkey. And I compiled them and put them together. And so what I have for you today, if the slide will change, is me and my friends' top 10 tips about life in Turkey for foreigners. I understand that some of you are here on exchange and you'll be here for just one semester, whereas others of you are going to be here for years. The advice, however, for those who've just arrived is basically going to be the same stuff. Some of it, those who are going to be here for longer will be able to take a bit further than people who are just here for one semester, obviously. So, moving on to these top 10 tips. Come on. You know you can do it, yes. Okay, a very, very obvious point to begin with. Whatever you expected, forget it. We all, whether we like it or not, are loaded with all sorts of stereotypes, which are sometimes kind of accurate, sometimes not. That's not going to play. This was my first experience of the idea of Turkey. It was the Camel cigarette packet with a desert and pyramids and an exotic-looking woman in a mini dress. When I first moved to Turkey, people would ask me silly questions like, how is it living in the desert? How's your Arabic? Seriously. So these are some very obvious stereotypes which are inaccurate. I'm sure you're all well-traveled enough to be beyond falling for stereotypes anyway. I wish this worked. Huh. Okay, other stereotypes, let's see. Some stereotypes are a little bit based on fact. You will see lots of men with moustaches. I don't really get moustaches. Have hair on your face, have it on all your face. You see lots of moustaches. You will see lots of kebabs, of course. This is a common misunderstanding, certainly where I come from. When people say Turkey, people think about kebabs, and people think about döner, people think about shish, and that's it. Whereas kebab actually is just a generic word for a meat dish, and there are hundreds and hundreds of different kinds of them. And I strongly recommend, if you eat meat, that you try them and ask around for the good places to go to enjoy that. One more feature of this picture, another stereotype about Turkey, is the hat, which we call a fez. These are illegal in Turkey. You're not allowed to wear them because they were banned in the 20s because they represented backward-mindedness and traditionalism. So the only times you actually see such a hat would be in a very touristic area. Somebody who's trying to sell you things might wear these. So, as I say, I'm sure you're all well beyond falling for any kind of stereotypes. Now, coming to a foreign country, experiencing a foreign culture, of course, music is something absolutely vital to any culture. It is something which is going to distinguish any culture from others. And in Turkey, there's such a great range of music. Here are some traditional musical instruments from Turkey, from Anatolia. You probably have similar things, perhaps the same, perhaps not quite the same, where you're from. So these are traditional folk music instruments. And Turkish folk music is a whole universe, if you're into that kind of thing. And being such an enormous country, every little area has its own distinctive sound, its distinctive rhythms, its distinctive pitches and instruments and arrangements. So that's a fascinating thing to explore if music is your thing. Also, if you're into folk dancing, again, every area of Turkey has its own different folk dance, different costumes. And if you're at all interested in that, there are plenty of clubs and societies outside on the grass. You can find the one for this, if that interests you. There's also, of course, dreadful, dreadful, dreadful pop music. As in every country, if Turkish pop music is your thing, then good luck to you. And this is ensemble who perform what's called Türk Sanat Müziği, which translates as Turkish art music, which is maybe better translated as Turkish classical music. And they're very, very, very beautiful melodies, wonderful rhythms as well, from the musicians and then from the choir as well. Wonderful songs. So just very quickly, you can see there's a huge, huge, huge range of music in the country. And this is my favorite Turkish traditional music, just one big drum and one thing is called a zurna. It's kind of like a soprano clarinet. And this music is great. It's like, for me, it sounds like John Coltrane mixed with punk. It's like really energetic music. So usually played at weddings. So if you can get to a wedding, a traditional one, and dance to this music, I would recommend that. Similarly, the food. Once again, Turkey's so huge. Every corner of Turkey has its traditional cuisine, and there's a huge, huge, huge range. The coastal areas, of course, there's a lot of fish in the diet and a lot of kind of olive oil things. As you move away from the coast into Anatolia, it becomes more carbohydrate-y in general, more meaty. But every area has its distinctive cuisine. And I hope you'll be able to travel while you're in Turkey and see more than just Istanbul. And of course, the foods are something to be discovered. Now, this is perhaps what I don't like about Turkish cuisine. Sometimes you have far too many carbohydrates on the plate. You know, you have potato chips and rice, and maybe as a side dish, there's some bread in a basket, and of course, it's a very large portion of döner, which I've already talked about, one of many different kinds of kebabs. If you enjoy seafood, you're in the right place. Turkey has 4 seas, Black Sea, the Marmara Sea, the Aegean Sea, and the Mediterranean Sea. And so there's a huge, huge range of different kinds of fish. And as we come further into the winter, we're coming more into the good season for the fish. So if you enjoy seafood, I recommend trying as much as you can. Is anybody here vegetarian? Yes, quite a few of you. Okay, good people. I used to be vegetarian until I moved to Turkey. If you are vegetarian, it's not difficult in Turkey. There are always plenty of things. I mean, everything grows here. There's such a huge range of foods. If you're on a night out, these mezes, small dishes in the middle of the table, there's a lovely variety of these which you can enjoy, as well as a lot of really nice vegetarian main dishes as well. So as a vegetarian, don't worry about being in Turkey. It's quite an easy place to be a vegetarian from my experience. Although with my idea about cultural exploration, when I came to Turkey, I thought I should try everything once, and that included the very famous meat dishes that I'd heard about. So I started trying them, and I'm still trying them, and I'm not vegetarian anymore, but I should be, I know. But yeah, not a problem in Turkey if you are vegetarian. And, make sure you get down to the local market, get lots of nice, fresh fruit and vegetables. Everything grows here. The quality of the foods that you can buy in the market is really, really good compared to my country, certainly. Until I moved to Turkey, I thought I didn't like cucumbers. I thought I didn't like tomatoes. But I'd only ever eaten the ones that were grown under glass. I hadn't eaten the ones that were grown in the sun, and it's a different thing entirely. So, also, if you're into sweet things, welcome to Turkey. Baklava and 100 other very delicious, heavy, syrupy, sweet dishes. If sweetness is your thing, try them and enjoy them. Okay, moving on from food, language, of course, is a very important part of any culture. Now, when I say learn the language, that maybe sounds like a lot, especially for people who are only here for one semester on an exchange. But you can learn a lot of Turkish really quickly. Up until about intermediate level, it's not such a difficult language. It's a very, very logical language. There are no irregular verbs. How nice is that? Yeah, I'm an English teacher. You've all learned English. You've all had to deal with irregular verbs. Turkish doesn't have any. That's brilliant. What else? Every symbol in the alphabet has one sound and one sound only. And every sound has one symbol in the alphabet and one symbol in the alphabet only. If you can read it, you can say it. If you can hear it, you can write it. So in that respect also, Turkish is a lovely language to learn with relative ease. No gender cases, none of this, the table is male, but the chair is female. None of this kind of case agreement or anything. So you don't have to worry about that. When I first came to Turkey, I thought it was a really positive thing that the words for he and she are the same. There's no differentiation of male and female in pronouns. It's all just the word o, meaning he and she, which, being a liberal, I was delighted about when I came to Turkey. I thought, oh, that's really positive. That's really, really good. Until I soon afterwards realized that it's also the word for it. So there's no differentiation between male and female, but also there's no differentiation between object and human. So maybe not as positive as I thought, but certainly as a language learner, that's a really positive, easy feature. And no articles. This is why my Turkish students struggle a lot with articles in the English language, because Turkish doesn't have any. It has a very different way of expressing the same ideas. But again, this makes life much, much, much easier for language learners. Okay, we'll come on to salt and pepper in a minute. But just to finish talking about language, first of all, there are no irregular verbs, right? So if you just learn one of the present tenses, future tense and the past tense, that's all you need. Yeah. So you can basically learn all the verb forms, or not all the verb forms, but enough verb forms to get by. You can learn that in a week, easily. And following on from that, if you learn, well, as young people who are professional learners, you should be able to learn 15 words a day. That's a lot of words by the time you go back, even after just one semester. If you want to, then by the time you go back to wherever you've come from, you should be able to speak reasonably good Turkish and to certainly interact with people in everyday situations with a fair amount of ease. Okay, so I definitely would recommend applying yourself a little bit to the language for all these reasons that I've said. It's not difficult until intermediate level, then it becomes a bit tangled and a bit complex, but for the beginning levels, definitely manageable. Okay, this is a strange one, which a few of my friends pointed out. It didn't occur to me, but when I saw it, I thought, yeah, of course. Okay, you're at a table, and there are two shakers. One of the shakers has one hole, and one of the shakers has many holes. I think there's a picture of that. Yes. Okay. The one on the right with the single hole, please put your hand up if you expect that to be salt. Okay, not many of you. Okay, this throws a lot of people from the United Kingdom, certainly, where I come from in Scotland. If there's one hole, that's salt. If there are many holes, that's pepper, for sure. Lots of times people have put the wrong thing on the wrong food. So do be careful about that. In Turkey, generally, the single hole is pepper, and the many holes is going to be salt. Check it first so you don't ruin your dinner. Read the history, if you're into it. The history in Anatolia goes back to, I believe, the earliest human-made structures which have been discovered in Göbekli Tepe. We have the history of the Hittites, we have the ancient Greeks, we have the Romans, we have the Byzantines, who are the Romans. The Roman Empire didn't finish in Rome in the year 400, it finished in Istanbul in 1453. They called themselves the Roman Empire. This was the new Rome. And then following on from that, we have Seljuk history, Ottoman history, the history of the Republican era. The history in Turkey is just mind-blowing. It's just so deep, and from so many different cultures and periods. So if history is your thing, then you've definitely come to the right place. Read the news. Here are two websites with easy names to remember. They're daily newspapers online in English, the Turkish news in English. The first one is, let's say, politically centrist. The second one is much more aligned with our government and their way of thinking. Read both. If you're living here, it's really, really useful for you to know what's going on. And it will enrich your experience hugely to be aware of what's going on. So these are two very, very good local news sources. And they also have other pages of sports and cuisine and art and culture and opinion, as well as just the daily news. So I would recommend having a look at these two sites and reading the news regularly. Don't get ghettoized. This may sound like an odd one, but a lot of foreign students who arrive here tend to stick together in their own groups and not to mix so much. It seems like a terribly missed opportunity to come all the way to Turkey and not to spend most of your time with Turkish people. So, you know, try to get out of your group and try to mix and try to work with different people in your lessons as much as social distancing will allow in this semester. I know that my friends in the international office look after you so well, and they organize things for you, and that's a great thing. But don't let it, just when you get to know all of each other and you like each other and you make friends, brilliant, great. But don't leave it at that. Make sure that you mix as much as you can. And, you know, you're in Turkey, meet Turkish people. I have seen a lot of international students who really only see other international students. Especially, of course, our friends from Pakistan, because there are lots and lots and lots of you. And very often our students will stay together in their national groups, fine. But, you know, it seems like a missed opportunity to me. Travel widely, if you can. It's a huge country. Every area is so different. You don't just see Istanbul, or not even Istanbul, don't just see Tuzla. You know, really do try to get out and about and go to, you know, as many different places as you can. I feel a bit bad about recommending flights because of the environmental impact, but if you plant some trees, then I would recommend that you fly because the cost of internal flights in Turkey is like really cheap. I think for about 300 lira, you can go just about anywhere in Turkey. So, I mean, that's a really good price. So do travel if you can. But if you fly, please plant some trees. So yeah, travel widely. A lot of people forget about the eastern half of Turkey because the western half is a peninsula and it shows much more clearly on the map. But the west of Turkey extends inland as far as the east of Turkey extends inland as far as the west extends as a peninsula. Turkey is, I think, approximately twice the size of France, just to give you an idea of the scale. So, you know, do travel widely if you can, but travel wisely, of course. I don't recommend anybody to travel alone, whether they're male or female. And that's my advice in every country, actually, not just Turkey. I would travel with someone. I would always make sure, of course, that you told somebody where you're going to go, where you're going to stay, and, you know, check in with people to let them know where you are. So yeah, travel widely, but do take care at the same time. Explore everything as much as you can. We've talked about music, we talked about food, we talked about all sorts of stuff, we talked about history. Explore as much as you can and ask a lot of questions. People here are, in my experience over many years, so helpful and so keen to welcome people from abroad and to show them the best of their country and of their culture. So please don't be shy about asking about things, about asking for any help that you might need, about finding out more about things. Please don't be shy. People will always be very happy to help, or almost always be very happy to help. Here's one thing you might want to do. There's a great tradition here of calligraphy. If you're interested in doing that, I think there's a club. There used to be. Certainly there are classes all through Istanbul if you want to experiment with that. And you don't need to know an alphabet such as this. Can look very beautiful in all kinds of alphabets. So that's one thing you might do. Folk dance, again, if you're into it. If any of you feel like doing this kind of thing, gentlemen here, I can picture you. What else do we have? We call this marbling. It's a very, very beautiful artistic technique where oil-based paints are floated on water and then an impression is taken on the paper. It's called Ebru in Turkish. Another very nice traditional art form, which you can do straight away. Again, there are lots of classes, but in an age of abstract art, it's very difficult to do a bad Ebru. They all look good to me. That's just a random one. It looks great, I think. So there's another thing you can do. What else do we have? Oil wrestling, anybody? Traditional Turkish oil wrestling? No? Last year, I challenged the international students if anybody would take me up on this, but nobody did, unfortunately. This is traditional Turkish oil wrestling, and the offer still stands. If anybody wants to form an oil wrestling club, I'm on for it. So, a million weird and wonderful things that you can do in Turkey. I hope you do at least 100,000 of them and have a really, really good time here, exploring things, doing new things. When you leave, people will say, so how was it? What did you do? Did you do this? Did you do this? How nice if the answers are, yes, I did, and let me tell you about it. Yes, I did, let me tell you about it. You know, I would get busy and I would do lots if I were you, because there's so much that you can do. Right, at this point, and I think we're almost out of time, lucky me. Time is up, yeah. Okay, I'll take 2 questions. Anybody have any questions? Nobody, okay. So thank you very much for listening. You've been doing a lot of listening in the last few days, I know. We have a question, yes. Where's the best place for? The best place to travel to? Totally depends what you are into. If you're into history, so many different places. If you're into a beach holiday, you know, I mean, there's nowhere in Turkey that I would recommend you not to travel. And there are, you know, so many different reasons for visiting all the different places. I mean, the classic places that people go are the holiday resorts in the Mediterranean, and they're very, very nice. And yeah, enjoy that. But, you know, maybe try the places that are a bit less known, not quite so famously touristic. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay, everybody, you've been listening to a lot of people talking to you today and yesterday. Thank you for your patience. And once again, welcome to Turkey. And I wish all of you a wonderful, wonderful and adventurous time here.
Presentation. Coming up next, we will have the survival presentation introduced by Ms. Melike Kahraman Üstün, the manager of the International Relations Office, along with our colleagues Gözde Doğmuş and Çağan Işıtı.
So, hi everybody. My name is Melike. I am one of the manager at International Relations Office. I'm just gonna shortly introduce the office and then welcome you guys. We are really happy that you're back. We are back. It's been quite dead silence for the last 1.5 years. So it's really nice to see you back on the game. And I'm hoping that, you know, it will stay like this for a long while. Of course, there are some, you know, certain restrictions, but I think it's easy to overcome, you know, once you obey the rules, the rest is easy. Gözde, mind passing? So indeed, we were expecting our director, Professor Abdullah Taşçı, but I think he's busy with, preparing for the classes because he is a professor in the business school. So I was hoping that he was planning to come, but I think he couldn't do it. So let me just, introduce the office shortly. So we have international exchange students on board today, and then undergrad degree seeking students, and probably some grad students, both exchange and again degree seeking. So it's a mixed group of students now. And this is International Relations Office. As I said, it's directed by the Professor Abdullah Taşçı, who's not here today, but pretty sure you will see him soon. Within one umbrella, there are two units. One is International Marketing and Recruitment, which is managed by me. The other one is Exchange and Cooperation, managed by Ms. Evrim Güngör. I don't know if Evrim is here. She was in a second here somewhere. So on the exchange part, we have three other colleagues. One of them is Gözde Doğmuş. So I call her the mother of exchange students. You all know him in person. She has been supporting you throughout the whole way. And then we have two other colleagues, Ms. Gülin and Zeynep. They are mainly dealing with outgoing exchange students. So for the degree seeking students, if you're planning to do an exchange abroad, probably you will meet with them within a year or two. And then on my side, we have Çağan Üçtu, who will be doing the presentation, and then Ms. Pınar Çengelci. We have Pınar Alıç, but she left. And then we have Hasan Çetin, the legal guy. So, you'll be in touch with him frequently because he's handling the residence permit and equivalency processes. Then we have Gizem Mert. So that's pretty much who we are. Please don't hesitate whenever you have questions, especially for the first month. We know that, it might be from time to time tough, especially after a long period of, staying outside of campus. Drop by the office whenever you have a question, we'll be there. Keep in mind, we have been working in rotation, and that's going to be the same for the upcoming at least 2 months, I assume. But whenever you come, there will be at least 2 colleagues at the offices. But I also suggest, if it's not so emergent, send an email, because day and night we're checking our emails and doing our best to reply you back immediately. But we'll be there. So I'm hoping a healthy semester to you guys. I'm hoping that you will enjoy it. We'll do our best from our part to make it sure that you enjoy it or you get it through easily. And that's pretty much from me. I think we'll go on with the video, and afterwards my colleagues will be on the floor to do the rest of the presentation. Once again, welcome back, welcome home. Have a good day.
This is your captain speaking. Welcome to Turkish your last flight to Istanbul. Wish you a great experience in this delightful city.
Hello, everyone. First, to address the elephant in the room, that video was supposed to be louder for people here, but it wasn't. So I think on the recording it was better. So apologies, I suppose. I'm John, as Ms. Medicki introduced me a second ago. I'm going to talk about the university a bit, since a lot of you are already here. Some of these things are going to sound a bit arbitrary, but for those of you who are online and watching us, hopefully they'll be a bit more meaningful. So this is the campus map. Again, those of you who found this room, I imagine you're very good at finding places in the campus already. In the center, those like big numbers, 18, 19, 24, 17, 23, 22, those are like the major buildings, the faculties and so on and so forth. 20 is the university center. I always say this in every presentation. The buildings with red roofs, those are the dormitory areas. These maps are everywhere on campus. So, you know, you can find where you are quite easily, where you need to go. And again, for those of you who are online, don't panic. This is not the only time you're going to be seeing this map. Moving on, hopefully. Yeah, there we go. I'll speak a bit about the university. So, you know, you're all in Sabancı, and maybe, you know, you're aware of some aspects of it and maybe you're not aware of others. Some like, you know, small things to catch up. Basically, the student number is one important thing that we always mention, like, you know, we're a small university. You might see rankings around small university ranking and so on, like we only have 5,000 students. The faculty to student ratio is very small, very like sort of positively, let's say, for that reason too, to 1 to 18. There's like 14,000 alumni across 20 years at this point. The international student body is like 10%, not including exchange students. So with those, usually it increases a bit more, as far as I remember at least. 97% placement rate after graduation. This is of course not for exchange students, but for degree-seeking students. That's something that we're quite proud of. It has something to do with the next slide I'll be talking about as well. And we talk all the time about how we're like a research university. There's a lot of laboratories in every faculty, every building. You know, you'll sort of see them just walking around. So yeah, you can sort of see some numbers about that too. Oops, that was that too? Yeah, there you go. So maybe you're not aware of this too. So I'll speak about Sabancı, like where does the name come from? The university, people very often mistake it with a lake that is nearby Istanbul, Sapanca. The name actually comes from one of the wealthiest families in the country and one of the largest corporations in the country. So just to sort of give you a bit of an understanding, you know, I want to mention that too. Basically, any sign around in Turkey as you walk around, whenever you see SA, that logo, SA at the end of anything, that means it's owned by Sabancı. There's like museums and so on. If you have done a Bosphorus tour, or if you're planning to, like a lot of those houses are owned by the Sabancı family and Koç family for the other ones. So basically, the company, the holding, I should say, is involved in a lot of different businesses. The university is a philanthropy project, basically, that they've created, as I said, like over 20 years ago. This, of course, you know, benefits us with regards to industry reach, research, you know, reach, of course, with regards to the employment rate that I mentioned a second ago, and of course, funding. So, you know, that's something that we sort of wanted to inform you about as well. So just so you're aware of the university's background, let's say. I'll speak a bit about COVID developments now, since, you know, that might still be a question. There's been a lot of developments in the last few weeks. Some of you might have suffered or might have benefited from those. So I'll give some updates about how things are going and what we have done as a university as well. So first of all, the dormitories are all open, fully open, thank God. We are allowing first-year students of the degree-seeking variety, of those who were not able to get vaccinated in their own countries. They can quarantine in the dorms at the moment with periodical PCR tests, and those costs are covered by the university. Also, unvaccinated students can stay in the dorms with, again, this PCR test requirement. But if you're not in the first group, unfortunately, the PCR tests are usually covered by you, unfortunately. The health center does carry out, as you can see on the bottom, free of charge tests. These are going to be like sporadic. That's what we've been told. Like every now and again, you might be asked to give out the test result, you know, like for the faster variety, of course. And those are usually, you know, if a test of that kind is like requested from you, you know, you might have to pay for it. But of course, the university will do the ones that are, you know, random. One other thing that is important to mention, which we've learned very recently, so you've been informed that, you know, once you get your residence permit, if you do not have a vaccine, that you can apply for a vaccine after that. If you're among that group, we have recently learned, less than like 24 hours ago, we have learned that the government is going to be providing vaccination options for students who are registered to any university. So if you were waiting for your residence permit to be able to apply for a vaccination, that's probably not going to be required. That said, this is something very recent, as I said, so wait for like further news from us as we also figure out how the process is going to be working. But just, you know, as a heads up, good news type of thing. So some of the things that we do on campus, again, those of you who are here are already aware, but I'll like sort of specify some of them. Obviously on campus, masks are compulsory to wear unless you're presenting. Social distancing rules are enforced in the cafeteria and places like in the, you know, in this hall, for example. All the exits and entries of campus are monitored. This means like the major entrances to the campus. Ventilation systems were separated. This is a big thing. This was done last year once the pandemic hit initially. So all of these rooms like have their own ventilation pathways now, so that, you know, you don't have to breathe the air that's coming from another classroom, etc. And then there are sensor systems that monitor the air quality in every room, and like inform you if there's like a sort of problem, let's say. So, you know, we did take a lot of precautions to make sure that when we're inviting people back, we are sort of doing that properly. That said, I'll move to talk about a bit about the campus. Again, it is slowly opening. In the orientation week, a lot of places are still closed, but like starting with next week, you'll see much more like life in the campus. There's a lot of facilities over here, like the bank, and some of them are already open, like the bank and so on and so forth. But there's a lot of restaurants that have not been active yet. I saw the ones in the dorm area were preparing right now, for example. So like, I'm pretty sure they'll be opening in the next few days. There's like a Starbucks which opened, the market, the sports center, and so on and so forth. All of these will be available, obviously, for the year, once, you know, once the year starts properly. So, you know, we hope that you'll be able to enjoy those, especially the collaboration space. If any of you is interested in anything like sort of techie, I absolutely suggest going there. It's an amazing location. The dormitories, again, for those of you who are here, this is going to be a bit irrelevant maybe, but dorms are open, as I said earlier. They're pretty nice, in my opinion, compared to the dorms that I know from public universities and so on. There's like weekly cleaning rooms, the bathrooms are en suite, and so on and so forth. You know, if you have any questions, I know there's a lot of you probably who do still have problems of some sort with your dorms, please. There's the email address at the bottom. You can get in touch with your, or you can get in touch with us. You know, Gertz or me and so on and so forth. We'll help you out. There's going to be contact information at the end of this presentation as well. Student clubs, there's a lot of student clubs. They did some like events already earlier today. Make sure to like, you know, give them a look. Some of them are super popular with our international students, I know. And language is becoming less and less of an issue in attending. So like, don't worry about that too. We absolutely suggest that you, you know, try and hit the club management up. There's like, there's also a lot of sports teams, again, the same sort of vein. Some of these like compete in inter-university leagues in Turkey. So like, you know, you can sort of partake in that too, that kind of thing. Or like in the competitions, like for the sailing club, for example, as a team, for example, and stuff like that. So if you're into any kind of sports, make sure to check that out too. This is the link for student club membership. Obviously, it's not a link that I'm going to be able to read out. So if you're interested, you know, you can find this recording later, or just take a like picture of the screen, or like take a picture of the presentation at the moment. And that's it. We're going to have another video now, hopefully with the sound working properly. And after that, Ms. Gözde is going to continue. Thanks for listening.
First, you think you can only scratch the surface. In every occasion, you look for a chance to break the ice. You believe friendships will remain distant. But every interaction proves you the exact opposite. Whether you wish to become an engineer, an economist, or an artist, Sabancı University's interdisciplinary program will introduce you into new concepts. It will teach you how to learn and how to think. And it will change the way you perceive the world. Dealing with real-world issues will remind you how dedicated and well-prepared you should be. When the world is reduced to micron levels, the size of questions will be magnified. When you create and develop together, the diversity will make you stronger. Sometimes challenges bring us closer. When individual effort and dedication is just enough, we become a team and increase the number of choices. Regardless of which discipline you belong to, expression is your way to success. Art will make it universal, but you shall make your expression unique. Innovative thinking will prevail. Possibilities are all around us, cultivated by an environment that is provided by each and every member of Sabancı community, who devote their time, attention, and friendship to guide us through. You devote your time to turning those possibilities into opportunities and make them your own.
Hello everyone. I think most of you know me from the WhatsApp group, from my emails. And welcome. Welcome to Turkey, welcome to Istanbul, welcome to Sabancı University. I really enjoy that you are here right now, most of you physically, some of you watching from us from YouTube channel. I hope you will enjoy during your semester. And for those who are going to be studying here for 4 years at least, I hope you enjoy your study period here. I will continue with daily life hints. Hold on a second. I think I forgot my pointer. Let's take it first. Okay. I will mention about the daily life hints. Actually, David mentioned a bit, but I would like to underline some of it. For instance, I think you were experienced during the day, early morning with the traffic jam. Are you or not? It takes more than 1 hour, right? Coming here from Kadıköy or Fort Levent to the campus. It's the reality of Istanbul, actually. Traffic jams will occur actually early morning and after 5 p.m. between 7 p.m. Sometimes it takes about 8 p.m., something like that. And we would like to recommend you to use the main street because it's much more safer for the night, actually, about like 11 p.m. And besides this, there will be some protesting group in some areas like Taksim Square, something like that. So that it is better to just do not join them. Even though it seems very calm, we never know what's happening for the next minutes. Besides this, you will see that there will be lots of taxi around, but prefer to using the taxi by calling from the applications. No worries, we will mention about the applications. And we would like to mention about the bargaining, actually. In Istanbul specifically, on the touristic places like Eminönü, Fatih, those places are lots of stores around here, and you would like, if you would like to buy something, do not accept with the first price, actually, just bargain them. And we would like to be sure that you are very reachable. Check your Sabancı email account regularly at least. And for the exchange students, please get in touch with your buddies all the time. And for those who are studying here for 4 years, you will have mentors so that you can get in touch with your mentor anytime. And actually it's written there, but you already get it, HES code, right? Okay, perfect. It is very important, and if you haven't got the HES code applications, it is mandatory for your all domestic travelers. And this is the explanation of how to get your HES code if you haven't got it. I'm sure that you get it, but there are 2 ways. First one is just downloading the HES application from your App Store or your Google Play Store. The second one is just sending an SMS. But the thing is that for sending an SMS, they don't accept your German or your international phone number. You do need to use your Turkish phone number. So I think it's better to use the application instead. And besides, lastly, but not least, the thing is that updating your HES code on your MICE profile is very crucial, because while you're entering to the campus, they are going to check out your SU card instead of using your HES code. It will be integrated into, so that if you enter your HES code to your MICE account, that will be so quicker. And besides this, your student ID card will be distributed next week, okay? I'm sure that you will have some questions regarding this, but it takes time for those who are enrolling for this week. It will be ready for the next week and you will be informed. And this is some advice for the accommodation who are willing to stay out of campus, who are not staying in the dorm. And please be sure that you have a rental agreement, and please make your all payments through the bank. It's really important. I already mentioned about the HES code, actually. I think most of you have MySU application on their phone. If not, you are able to open up on the web page as well. And BTaxi, that's what I mentioned about the taxi application. It's very useful. There is a English interface so that you are able to use it. And before you call a taxi, you are able to see the approximate price. So it's very convenient. And you are able to see the plate number of the taxi, including the name of the driver. So it's important. There are, in the city, in Istanbul, there are lots of transportation versions, like bus, like sea bus, something like that. In order to see all options and checking out their timetable, there is Mobi Internet IETT application. So it's very important to have it on your phone as well to follow about all the things over there. And lastly, but not lastly, but about the transportation related, there is an application for Istanbul card as well. So you can upload the money on your Istanbul card, your travel card, by using the Istanbul card application. And you may know that COVID-19 just bring up some, the delivery service for the food. There is one popular one is yemeksepeti.com. When you stay in dorm, you would like to maybe order some food from outside of the campus, so you're able to use it. There will be much more, like Getir, like Bibana, something like that. And lastly, I would like to mention about the Sesli Sözlük, which is Audible Turkish dictionary. If you have any if you have any, faced with any problems regarding explaining yourself, just type the word on it and it will be shown, and you are able to play this sound so they are able to hear what you would like to explain it. It is the map of the transportation actually. You are able to see it on the IETT web page as well. You can able to download it and you are able to plan your travel around Istanbul. And on MySu, you are able to see the shuttle times so that with all options, you can check it out from web page and also from MySu as well. And we request you to send your phone number to us. Actually, I have most of you, so that for the exchange students, you don't need to do that. But for the degree students, especially, please email to degree incoming, okay? It is important to be reachable in a case of emergency. And these are some emergency phone numbers, like for the within campus and all over Turkey, actually. Maybe you can take a picture of it, but the record will be shared with you so that you don't need to think about a lot. And these are our contact numbers. I think you know it. And we have a kind of special areas. For instance, for the exchange students, I am the contact person for almost everything. At least I'm able to direct you to other related departments. For the degree students, degree incoming email is the contact email address. For the residence permit related and legal issues related, person is Hassan, as you may know, and his email address is Irolegal. So that's all, I think. Maybe you don't know yet, but there is a possibility get in touch with IT team for anything that may happen on your computer, on your connection, anything. On MySu, there is a ticket section. You are able to submit a ticket by explaining your issue that you are facing with, so that you are able to get support from them by opening a ticket. And these are our social medias. We would be grateful if you are able to follow us through this. I think that's all. Thank you very much for listening. And my colleague Hassan will continue about the legal process, legal issues. I think it's very important for all of you who are going to stay here at least more than 3 months. Thank you very much.
For your presentation. I also want to mention something regarding the Istanbul card. So at the moment, in order to use your Istanbul card at public transportation, you might also have to integrate it with your HES code. So as soon as you receive your HES code, you might want to establish that connection between your Istanbul card so that you don't run into any trouble when you're traveling in the city. Right now, we will be having a short break. We will be playing a game called Kahoot. So if we can move on with the game, your technical team. If you have the app, that's great, but you don't have to download the app because we will be providing the game pin. And for the winners, we have also prepared small prizes. In the meanwhile, while we are waiting for the game to be presented on the screen, if you like, maybe you can download the Kahoot app. You can find it both on Apple Store and Google Store, I think it's called, on Android. I use an Android, but I can't remember. I think it's called Google Play, right? I haven't downloaded anything in ages, so I don't remember exactly. Okay, in a minute, the game pin will be available on the screen. And anyone who is joining us online, please also join the game. And if you become the winner, you can also get a prize. If you're in the top 3, I mean, I keep calling them prizes, but they're actually very modest gifts. So I don't want to, raise your expectations. I think we will have it up in a minute, right? Okay, the game will be up on the screen any minute. In the meanwhile, if you can finalize downloading the app, or maybe you can go to Kahoot's website. Okay. So anyone who is joining us from online, you can also, either log in with the PIN from the Kahoot app, or you can join in from the link on the page below. Not below, but on the screen. I think that's a better way to put it. Okay. Familiar names are joining in. As I see, let's wait for everyone to join in. Yes, of course. I mean, whoever is attending online, we are also expecting your participation. Don't think it's a hassle. Just go for it. Maybe you might win one of the prizes. Perfect. I see on the screen many people are joining in. Great. Let's give it another full minute for everyone to join so that we can start with the game. Is there anyone in the auditorium that has not joined in the game yet? Okay, I see some hands up. Okay, we will wait for you. Is everyone in? I guess we're ready, right? I hope everybody online is also ready too. And Miss Gözde also wants me to make an announcement. I think we can make this announcement both for degree students and exchange students. The recording of these sessions will be available online, and we will be presenting all of the documents and recordings you need by email to all of you. I think everybody is in. There are 93 people. Okay, so one thing I want to mention, current students, please do not participate in the game because it makes it unfair for other students. I forgot to mention this. Even if you participate, try not to win, okay? Okay, so we'll start. Can we also have the audio on, please? Normally there should be a very dramatic music playing in the background. So imagine that it plays. Wow, 64 correct answers, perfect. But this was a relatively easy one. We also have prepared, tricky ones. We have to move to the next question. Oh, so Jorge was really fast. How do you say hello in Turkish? Is it teşekkürler, or is it afiyet olsun, or is it merhaba, or is it yani? Oh, many of you are familiar with this. Really great. And the rankings have changed. Oh, this is just the beginning. This was one of the easier questions. So which continent is Sabancı University is located in? Due to the geographic features of Turkey. So many people thought, or they maybe it's one of our students that picked Europe, but no. Especially Istanbul is located on 2 continents. So I think the exchange students who have already arrived to Istanbul earlier can easily answer this. Yes, it's called simit. Börek is actually made with flatbread and they generally use something like, I don't know, cheese or meat or potatoes as fillings. This one might be a little bit tricky. What is the capital city of Turkey? I'm really curious about the answers regarding this one. Yes, many of you got it correct. That's also nice to see. Many people think it's Istanbul, but in fact it's not. It's Ankara, the capital city of Turkey. When people think about Istanbul, this is one of the landmarks they imagine. So I think this is pretty well known, one of the relatively easy questions. Oh, I mean, technically it's in the Bosphorus, so I think to some extent that also counts, but it was not the exact answer. Okay. So we briefly mentioned this at the beginning of the survival presentation. I'm curious how many of you will get this right. If you didn't see it, it's either a hit or a miss. Yes, we have many labs, but we have 8 research centers that contribute to academia very actively. And this was presented yesterday by the Information Center. So we will see, we are right now checking how well you guys listened to the presentation. It feels like an exam, but it's not. I mean, this is easy to guess, I guess, at this day and age. There are many online resources available. Oh, this one is also a little bit tricky. I'm curious how this will result. I mean, people went silent as soon as this question came in. Let's see the results. Oh, again, a majority guessed it correctly. That's cockroach and it's made from intestines of animals, actually, but it's very delicious. This was also presented very recently, and if you have been to the grass field today, again, you might have had a grasp of it. I feel the excitement is missing a little bit because the music is not playing. Okay, so El Turco is living up to their nickname. I think this is a very easy one. You guys can guess this very easily. We have been raving about this for a long time. So the rankings are changing again. If you're a Bond movie type of person, this might also be relatively easy. Well, the reaction was great. I guess it was a little bit tricky. El Chuco is living up to their nickname. So I just met eyes with a person who does not border, that comes from a country that does not border with Turkey. I think, yay. It's pretty, it was a pretty easy one. Also, 3 people missed out their 4 correct answer strike. Okay, so the one on the right-hand side with the red means false, and the one on the left-hand side in the blue box means correct. Unfortunately, these came up as preset answers, so we couldn't set them to English. But yes, actually Istanbul is much more crowded than some countries in Europe, or all over the world, actually. So if you guess this one correctly, this is also a tricky question, you get 2+ points. This might be a game changer. And of course, the numbers had to be really close to make it even more tricky. Yes, this was also available in the presentation, by the way. Okay, so we will now invite the winners to the podium. Oh, we have 3 more questions. I thought it was already the 19th question. No comments about this one. I hope you get to experience the Turkish breakfast yourself very soon, if you already have not. I mean, if it's a grand breakfast, it's probably a Turkish breakfast. This one is also a little bit tricky in my opinion. But for some people, it will be crystal clear. Yeah, oh. The rankings keep changing. I wonder who's going to win 2nd and 3rd places. I mean, which one is available is already very present, but you wouldn't know. We actually have a lot of animals on campus. So the last question. This might also, be up to luck. Yes, there are 7 regions in Turkey. Okay, so 3rd places is which I think stands for Ahmet. Then the 2nd place is Clara, and the 1st place is El Turco. Congratulations, guys. So can I see the hands of the winners? Okay, then, I mean, but you have to prove it. It's your idea. We will check if it's your idea from your game. Okay, can we invite the winners to the stage so we can present them with their gifts? But yeah, what we have the winner page is gone missing. Wait, let me get my mask really fast. Mhm. So, third place was that you can use. Where is El Turco? Did they maybe attended online? Okay, in that case, if the winner attended online, we are expecting you to send us an email to degree-incoming@sabancıuniv.edu. So you probably saw it in the presentation, the survival presentation. We also have the gift prepared for the first place. So please send us an email and we will make sure that you get your present on time. So thank you very much for joining me for this game. Coming up next, we have, I would assume, one of the most important presentations of today. Mr. Hassan, the legal guy, will provide you detailed information about residence permit application process. And then he will continue with the equivalency process, which will take shorter. And afterwards, we will be having the campus tour for degree seeking students, as the exchange students have already received their campus tour. But if you want to join for the campus tour in the afternoon, then you are more than welcome. Okay, so Hassan, if you're ready.
This is Hassan, legal guy. Hope you enjoyed the questions. How many of you completed their residence permit application? They can leave. It's a joke. Yes, let's get started. With the residence permit application, then we will continue with health insurance, opening a bank account, phone registration, and e-devlet. What is residence permit? Students enroll in academic program in Turkey for 3 months or longer than 3 months. For all your period, you should apply for residence permit. Do you need residence permit? Yes, if you are a degree seeking undergrad student or exchange student, you need residence permit. You should apply for residence permit as soon as you arrive in Turkey after your registration. If residence permit number or foreign ID number, you have to apply for residence permit. If you have visa, if you have coming from visa-free country, also you need to apply for residence permit. If you're a Turkish citizen or if you have dual citizenship, if you have blue card or North Cyprus citizenship, you don't need to apply for residence permit. If you are abroad during your education, some of you may take courses from it. You don't need residence permit. Actually, residence permit application cannot be made from abroad. So once you arrive in Turkey, you should start your application process. If you already have family residence permit or short permit based on your touristic purpose, you don't need to apply for extra student residence permit or exchange residence permit. If you are coming from another university in Turkey, you need to renew your residence permit based on your Sabancı University registration. Also, if you register for this matter is if you are a grad student, if you register to a PhD program after graduating from the master program, you have to apply a new residence permit also. If you dropped out a master or doctoral program and you started a new program, you need to also renew your residence permit. How to apply for residence permit? There are certain steps. First, you need to get your tax number, then you have to make your online application, then you should pay your residence card fee, then you should submit your folders to the International Relations Office, to us, basically. After that, you should follow up your application, then you will receive your card, finally. First step, get your tax number. Tax number is necessary to open a bank account, to pay residence card fee, to register your phone. You will such a struggle if you don't get your tax number in Turkey. There is two options to get your tax number. First option is to get online. The second option, to make a in-person application to the tax office. I suggest you try online application because it's easier. You should click the interactive tax payments, tax obtaining system, which is not easy to enter the system, but you should try. You should click the application for non-citizens potential tax number button, then you will type your passport information and the system will create a PDF document. Not able to get your tax number, or if you face with technical error, then you should visit the tax office with your passport. Since the person, most of them doesn't know Turkey, doesn't know English very well, you show this sentence to the officer and take help from them. If you explain that you need a tax number, they will help you. Tax offices are not working weekend. Some of students ask me this question. You can see their address below, and also if you check your legal guideline, you will see their address. Step 2, make your online residence permit application. First, you need to enter the online residence permit system, which is conducted by the Immigration Office. You need to upload your biometric pictures, like make sure that it has pure white background, otherwise you cannot upload your picture. If your picture has a grayish background, for example, just remove the background. You may visit some other websites how to make my picture biometric. If you visit kind of helping websites, you can make it. After that, I suggest you read the legal guideline. We explained all the steps regarding the online application. So please check the legal guideline before completing your online application. Also, these days, this system is very busy, so I can suggest you download the Opera browser and switch on the VPN option, so you will be able to succeed. If you face any technical problem, just write me an email, send me a screenshot, I will help you immediately, don't worry. There is some small warnings about the online application. You will also see these warnings during the steps in the online application guideline we prepared. If you are exchange student, you should select the short-term application instead of student application. After the pre-registration screen, the system will provide you the selection list, short-term, family, student, and other options. As an exchange student, you should select short-term application type. Degree-seeking students should select the student option. Most of the students ask about this address issue. Some of exchange students are staying out of campus and their address is currently temporary ones. So you just type campus address. So once your card arrives to the post office at campus, you can just pick it up. This is our address. You can type this address, neighborhood, or village is Orta Mahallesi, street, Üniversite Caddesi, apartment number 27A, and independent section door number you will see in the online application system 1. And for the health insurance section, you should select SGK or SSI. Then skip the page. Also, in the system, it will be asked that requested period of time. If you are just one semester student, you should select until your final exam date. If you are 1 year student, you should calculate your period and request the date. And the starting date of resident card, if the system asks, type today's date, your actual application date. After completing your online application, you should pay your residence card fee. Actually, exchange student cannot pay their residence card fee online. You need to visit the tax office in person. I also explained online application guide in the legal guideline. You should visit the tax office payment system, and then you should click the button to payment button. Then you should enter your accrue number, which is indicated in your application PDF. After that, system will create your payment receipt. Once you pay your residence card fee, the system will create your receipt. Then you should download the receipt to attach your application folder. For exchange students, some of the exchange students ask about this issue. You will see 2 fees. One of the visa fee, one of the payment is card fee. You will pay just card fee, not the visa fee. After that, you should submit us all these documents. First document is the original payment receipt. Second is your online application PDF, the printout of the PDF. The third one is the passport ID identification page copy, and last entry of 30 pages. And if you arrived here with your visa or e-visa, attach your visa copy too, and your 4 biometric pictures, student certificate, which will be issued, I guess, Monday or Tuesday, and address certificate. You can download it from the legal guideline. You should enter your name, enter your program information, study information, then you should sign it. And health insurance compliance document, which is also in the legal guideline, you should download it. For exchange students should provide a valid Turkish health insurance in Turkish language. You can find the details in the legal guideline. If you are under 18 years old, you should provide us parental consent and birth certificate. For the parental consent, you should get an approval document from your parents, mother and father, they should sign it, and the consent letter mention that parents are allowing you to study at Sabancı University and also live in Turkey. And it should have apostille if your country is listed under the Apostille Convention agreement. If not, you should get it stamped from your own consulate and get it translated by notary. The same procedure must be done for the birth certificate. Your birth certificate must be translated into Turkish by notary and approved by your consulate. These two documents are for under 18 years old students. After that, you should submit us your all documents. You can bring your documents next Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We will be in the School of Business building in the ground floor, G045, the classroom. Until Wednesday, we will be available to receive your documents. You can also send your documents by courier, Yurtiçi Kargo. But if you are already coming to campus, you can just visit us and submit your documents. After submitting your documents, you will receive an email or SMS from the Immigration Office about your appointment. If you receive an appointment message, just ignore it because you should submit us your documents. You don't need to go there by yourself. And then the final step is follow up your application. The period between the processing of your application and receipt of your card may take up to 30 days, 45 days. But I guess if you submit us your documents until Wednesday, you will receive your card until mid of October. So once the Immigration Office approve your documents, they will send you an approval message. Or if some of your documents are missing, they will send you to submit your missing documents in 30 days. After that, once you receive your card, you should send its double-sided copy to student info. Basically, this is the student resources email address. It's important. You cannot leave until you get your approval message. You cannot leave Turkey without getting your residence card. If you leave Turkey before the evaluation stage, your residence permit will be canceled. What should I do before leaving Turkey? You should not leave Turkey until you get your residence permit approval message. In case you need to leave before you receive your card, you should go to the Immigration Office in person with your passport, and they will issue an approval paper. Just allow you to leave Turkey for 15 days. Also, residence permit renewal process is very important. If your studies continue past the expiration date, if your residence card is not enough duration to complete your study at Sabancı, then you should apply for expiration for renewal. Some of you get a shorter duration of residence permit because of the passport durations. So if you need to renew your residence card, just contact us. We will help you. For the phone registration issue, do you need to register your phone number? If you have brought your own mobile phone to Turkey, you should register your phone within 4 months. You can use your phone number with Turkish SIM card up to 4 months But after that, you should register your phone, your phone's IMEI number to the registration system. Otherwise, it will be blocked. Even you change your SIM card, it will be blocked. You will not able to use your own cell phone. In order to register your phone to the system, you should get your residence permit card first. Then you should pay registration fee, which is more than 2,000 Turkish lira. And you should enter e-government portal and register your phone. Generally, we suggest you buy a new phone because the payment issue. E-Devlet portal is basically you can easily access the governmental documents such as your criminal record. You can download your student certificate, or you can download your address document if you register your address to the address system. So the e-Devlet portal is lifesaver. If you cannot contact the student resources, you can download your student certificate immediately. I guess the transcript must be also available to download from this system. How to open a bank account? You need these documents. You need your tax numbers, student certificate, a rental agreement or invoice with your name on a receipt, or if you are staying at dormitory, you should provide a dormitory letter, dormitory address letter, and your passport. If you are an exchange student, you may need an address declaration document from your country of stay, showing the address of your place and residence in your country. You should have obtained this document before your arrival. This document should be in English or translated in English by official authorities. Do you need health insurance? Yes, all students need their health insurance during their study. Sabancı University provides health insurance for all degrees seeking students except the exchange students. Exchange students need to get their own health insurance policy in Istanbul from the local companies, local agencies. It costs around 100 or 200. Last week, I talked to a student. She got her health insurance around 85 Turkish lira. And you should attach these documents to your residence permit application folder. This is kind of new application. This is kind of new regulation. After the pandemic, it became a strict rule. Thank you for listening. And if you have any questions, you can ask me immediately. I will submit all of your documents next Thursday to the Migration Office. We have a certain appointment date, so you should submit us the documents before this date until Wednesday. Then most probably you will receive your card until the mid of October, maybe the first week of October. If you miss the deadline, don't worry, but you should submit us your documents. If you submit us your documents until after the deadline, we will submit your folder on your behalf to the Migration Office for the next batch during the October. So you will receive your card during November. It will be very late. I suggest you make your online application during night hours. because the system is not working properly these days. Technical failures. Your question.
The first one, is the renewal application different? I already have an ID, so I want to go for a renewal, you know?
Yes, if you are coming from another city, then you enter city in Turkey, then you should apply for a new residence permit.
No, it's not a different city.
In Istanbul, but different university, right?
Yeah, it's not. It's a touristic. ID.
Yeah. Then
So
you
is it-
should apply again as a first-time applicant, and you should attach your living certificate from your previous university,
It's not related to a different university. It's a touristic ID.
touristic ID.
Yeah, yeah. So no university. I just
If
want
if its expiration date is good for you, enough for you, then it's okay. But if your expiration date is coming, then you should make a transfer application from short-term to student. But if you are already exchange student, you should make a new application.
That's my question. I don't know how to do the transfer application. Like, is it different? Is it a different process?
You are exchange student, right?
No, I'm not an exchange.
No, you are degree student.
Yeah, I
You
live
should-
here. I've lived here for a year,
Yeah,
and I have
just-
my ID.
Just write me an email. I will send you a certain link.
I actually already wrote you an email,
Uh-huh.
but I got no reply like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, okay, perfect.
Okay, so, but I might email again. I have a
Yeah.
different question as well. It ends in mid-November,
Mhm.
the ID. So if I miss the deadline on Wednesday, would that be a problem?
No, if you bring your documents until Wednesday, it's okay.
Sorry? If in case I miss the deadline, when is the
It's-
next application
If
date?
you miss the deadline, still you can bring your documents, but we will submit your documents on the next batch of the end of October. We will send your documents.
And would I have legal problems because mine ends
No, you
in
won't face any
mid-November?
problem. As long as you submit us your documents, you won't face any struggle, any problem.
Okay, great. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
Welcome. You have a question, right?
I have already done a health insurance in my country, and it's with Turkey. It's like Turkey and France. So do I have to do it again here, a Turkish health insurance?
Yes, international agreements are not acceptable by the migration office. You can use your agreement among the hospital in Turkey. It's okay, but it's not valid for the residence permit application. You should obtain a Turkish health insurance in Istanbul.
So it's not useful what I have. I can't-
Yes. You should obtain a health insurance, a new health insurance.
Thank you.
Any other questions? I guess you will receive your student certificate on Monday or Tuesday. You can bring
Okay.
your documents on Tuesday.
Answered my question already.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Want to make sure you told us that we had to first apply for the health insurance and then go for the residence permit, or was it vice versa? Should we apply first for the residence permit and then
There's no order.
there's no order?
Yeah, as long as you submit us all the documents together, it's okay.
But the tax number thing, should we apply for that for the very first thing or?
The health insurance company might ask your tax number
Oh, sure.
and your passport information. So I suggest you get your tax number first, then apply for the health insurance.
Just one thing, I visited 2 different websites for the whole, for the equivalency certificate thing, for the, the higher education thing here in Turkey. And one of them was for students who were in high school and that stuff, and they wanted to upload their high school diplomas. And the other one was for like higher education students that either were graduated on that stuff. And I want to know which one should we visit? Are we like considered?
Are you asking for equivalency?
For the one that we have to.
Yeah,
like,
I will
upload-
explain it for the next,
Oh,
yeah, for the next presentation.
oh, yeah. Okay, okay, thank you very much.
Hi, can we use different photo in residence permit application, one for online application and one other for hard copy document?
Can you repeat, please? I couldn't hear you clearly.
Um,
You made 2 different application,
yeah,
right?
No. I use one photo for online application and other.
Pictures, you mean?
Yeah, photo.
You can use different photos.
Okay,
Doesn't
thank-
matter.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't understand one part that we should submit you our insurance paper either for residence permit.
Just exchange students should provide us their health insurance documents by attaching to the residence permit application folder.
Okay, the other
Other
students-
degree student doesn't have to.
Also, you are going to send our documents Monday or
On Thursday, I will submit. So basically, you should submit us your documents until Wednesday.
then I can submit my document 27th of September. It's okay.
It's okay. It's okay. Any other questions? If you don't have any other question. We have plenty of questions.
If the residence permit is in process, can we go back to our country, or does it cancel something?
No, during the process, you should stay in Turkey.
So I cannot-
Otherwise, the system will detect your passport is out of the country and they will cancel it.
So we cannot leave until we get the residence permit.
Yeah, until you get the approval message, not the card, but until you get the approval message, you shouldn't leave Turkey. You should stay in Turkey.
Okay. And for example, if I submit you my my application before Wednesday, how long times do you think it will take? I mean, for my part, I want to go at the end of October because
Yeah, if you submit us your documents until the Wednesday, and
Yeah.
if your documents are very completed, then you will receive your card until the mid of October, maybe the first week of October. Generally, it takes shorter time.
Okay, thank you very
Yeah,
much.
very welcome. I guess that's all. Do you have? Okay.
If I have an appointment on like 1st of October, is it okay if you submit documents like in 29th of September?
If you submit us your documents until Wednesday, even if you get an appointment message by the October, it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, don't just ignore the appointment message. You will not go there. You will not submit your documents by your own. Just ignore the message. If you receive any appointment message, ignore it. If you don't have any other extra questions, that's That's all for the residence permit. You can reach us by email.
Okay, I want to make a very short announcement before we move on with the next presentation. The equivalency process presentation has to do with the undergraduate degree seeking students and strictly undergraduate students. So if you are a graduate,
Hi, everyone. We will start with the equivalency application process, which is important for the degree-seeking undergrad students. Equivalency document is one of the required documents, actually most important required documents for your registration. What is equivalency certificate? In Turkish, denklik. Equivalency certificate verifies that your high school diploma is equal to the Turkish high school diploma. If you already have your Turkish high school diploma, you don't need to get equivalency. You are required to submit your high school diploma equivalency certificate together with registration document, but the student resources will give you some time to complete this document. If you receive equivalency certificate rejection, then you are not allowed to register. You will not able to complete your registration at university. But during this process, we will help you. What documents should you bring when you apply for a denklik? First of all, you should submit your original high school diploma. Your high school diploma should include apostille If your country is not listed under apostille convention countries, then you should get your document stamped by your consulate or your Ministry of Education. And all your transcripts as well. You should get your all high school years transcripts, and they must be stamped by your Ministry of Education or your own consulate. What else? If you completed an all level track for GCE education system, then you should fulfill one of the following options. If you have 2 A level, 1 AS level, or 2 O level, or if you have 3 A level and 1 O level, or if you have 2 A level and 3 O level, then you are entitled to get high school equivalency. What else you should bring? You should bring your passport. Copy is enough. You should bring your original and approved translation of your parental consent if you're under 18. And you should download the application form. And you should fill out the form with your handwriting. If your documents are Arabic, English, German, or French, it's okay. You don't have to get translation. This is the application form sample. You should fill out this application form. You can download it from the legal guideline. You should write your passport information, and you don't need to fill the second page. There are 2 options to get your equivalency. First one is to obtain from the local Turkish embassy from your country. If the Turkish consulate has their educational attaché, for example, in Pakistan, Iran, Azerbaijan, Saudi Arabia, Germany, Russia, Uzbekistan, Egypt, there are educational attaché. So you can get your equivalency certificate from there. If not, if you are already in Turkey, or if there isn't any educational attaché in your home country, then you can obtain your equivalency in Istanbul, in Turkey. I will explain about the application steps in Turkey. First, you need to make an online application. You should click the edenklik.map.gov.tr, which you can find on the legal guideline. First, you need to enter this website. You need to click online application tab. After that, you should enter your passport information. Some of the questions are Turkish in the system. Therefore, I suggest you, if the process type asking if you are a student or alumni, you should select Mezun. The system will ask why you are applying for residence permit. What is the document of equivalency asked for? You should select Okul Kaydı, which means registration. And you should enter your Turkish mobile phone number, because you receive an appointment message from the system. Once you complete the passport information page, then you will click next, and you will confront the pop-up window, and you should close the pop-up window. And this is important. You should upload your all documents, your application form, your passport ID page copy, upload your passport entry pages, upload your diploma or graduation certificate or testimonial, upload your all years transcripts, upload all the stamps pages, the front and back pages, upload the documents if you have translated some of the documents. And for each of documents, you will select the certain type of information. For example, for the passport page, you should select kimlik belgesi. For the transcript, you should select the transcript option. For diploma, you should select diploma option. You can upload multiple documents for each option, and you can upload JPEG or PDF or Word format. After uploading the documents, you should select next. Then this page is the appointment page. You need to select country Turkey, province Istanbul. Then you may select Tuzla for the district because Tuzla branch is the nearest one. If you don't find Tuzla branch for the incoming appointment schedule, you can select municipality, Büyükşehir, which is the main directorate. Once you select your appointment place, the system will direct you to the schedule page. And unfortunately, this page is Turkish also. If you see Boş, which is you can make an appointment on this date. If you see Dolu, you cannot select boxes are yellow. Yellows are not available. And select one of the available dates shown on the calendar in red and pink color dates. After choosing a date, you must select an appointment time. Once you make your selection, you should confirm it. If you don't confirm it, the system will not create an appointment for you. And at the end of the page, you will click the end button, and don't forget to take a screenshot of the page because you will see your appointment registration number. You will use this number to download your equivalency document. So do not miss all the steps. The staff at the equivalency center will return the documents once they check. You will go there on your appointment date. You will submit your documents, and they will check your documents. After your documents are verified, you will be able to check your application result by entering your registration number on the system. Then you should download your result and send us. Send to this email address, aerolegal@sabancı.union or studentinfo@sabancı. If your application is rejected, if you face any problem during this process, just contact us. We will try to find a solution. We will help you try to complete your other documents. Yes, my presentation is done. If you have any questions about the equivalency process. Yeah, if your documents have an important stamp, such as apostille or Minister of Education stamp, if there is a stamp, yes, scan and upload it, or take a picture with your iPhone, the scan option of your iPhones.
Just one thing, for example, I've got my diploma translated in English and Turkish. Should I deliver all of those three altogether, like the original one and the two translations altogether, or is it just is one of
If
them?
your documents are already in English, you don't need to translate it into Turkish,
No,
or
they're-
you don't need to upload Turkish version.
No, they're in Persian, and I've translated into English and Turkish just in case.
Uh-huh.
Should I upload all of them all together, or should I make them like separate files or like separate images to upload?
Just the original documents, enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I actually applied for the equivalency certificate, but I did not scan the back of the page because I thought it's unnecessary. Like I didn't have it and I did not have any scanner.
If
The
you
version that I had was only the front
Yeah,
of it.
if you already completed your application, don't worry, but bring your documents to the equivalency center.
Okay.
They will check your documents and they may upload your documents to the system instead of you, some of your documents. If missing, they may
That'd be
upload
great.
on your behalf.
Great, great. Thank you.
Yeah, do not cancel your appointment if you already have it.
Thank you.
Okay. Sorry, I cannot see this side.
Well, I have a question. So basically, it's been 2 days. I've been trying to like apply for an appointment. Actually, I sent you an email yesterday. And so basically, when I applied and I finished everything, it said it's full. Then in October, it said it's like no appointment information. And I tried different places. It said the same thing. So I don't know what to do.
Some of branches are opening their appointment schedule every Friday.
What do you
Like
mean?
if you check the system, you may find some available appointment places. For example, Tuzla branch is now closed, but they will make it available for students for the next week. So if you face all the slots are closed, don't worry, check another day because they are creating new available seats for you.
Oh, so basically like every day I should like try and like look for an appointment?
Like every
or-
Friday, some branches are opening Thursday, but generally Thursday and Friday are okay. Check the system. They don't open the system for whole year. They are opening like Apple stores. They are opening the schedule like for every week.
Mm-mm. But can I like just go like and check like there's this branch in Tuzla, like can I go at 10 a.m. like check if they can do it for me?
Not
or-
really. They only accept students those have their appointment.
Okay, so I should just keep on trying like every day.
Yeah, keep
and
on
try.
trying. Try with, do not make original application. Try fake applications. At the end of the system, you will see the appointment places. Actually, I am doing fake application to see available seats.
Okay.
Just type random names, and once you reach to the end of the stages, you will see the available seats.
Okay, thank you so
Okay.
much.
If you face any problem, if you stuck in the middle of the application stage, just let me know. Just write me an email. I will try to find you another solution. So if you cannot understand the system, if you face any problem, just let me know. Because this is the most important document for your registration. If you are all done, thank you, everyone, for listening.
Thank you very much, Hasan. As you can see, he is one of the most loved persons by the international students because he is really generous when it comes to helping people. Thank you very much for staying us until the very end. It was lovely to welcome you all in person like this after a long break. And this marks the end of the presentations. Now, if you look at to your right-hand side, I guess in this case, people waving will be almost giving you a private campus tour because there are so few people left. Okay, just follow them so that they can teach you the important places on the campus so that you can easily navigate into life next week. Thank you very much for attending and have a nice evening.